Camp Mystic got a clean bill of safety 2 days before flash floods killed 27 at the girls' camp. On July 2, Texas Department of State Health Services inspectors visited Camp Mystic, an all-girls Christian summer camp on the Guadalupe River, and found it fully compliant with state regulations, including having a written emergency plan posted at all occupied buildings and staff trained on evacuation procedures. 2 days later, during catastrophic July 4 flash floods that surged 26 feet in 45 minutes, 27 campers and counselors lost their lives, raising urgent questions about whether the approved plan was adequate or followed in the chaos of a once-in-a-century deluge. Inspectors from the Texas Department of State Health Services evaluated Camp Mystic on July 2 for compliance with state youth camp safety rules, covering water supply, bunk bed guardrails, and disaster planning. The camp's written plan for emergency shelter and evacuation was posted in the on-site office and in every permanent and semi-permanent occupied building, satisfying state law requirements. Records show all 64 staff and 386 campers at the Guadalupe River site and 215 combined at Cypress Lake had learned about the emergency plan during pre-camp staff training and volunteer briefings. The July 2 inspection report listed no deficiency/violation, confirming all buildings were in good repair and no hazards were identified. In the early hours of July 4, a severe storm dumped nearly a foot of rain upstream, sending a wall of water rushing through the camp's floodplain cabins, overwhelming evacuation efforts in minutes. Witnesses reported a pre-dawn power outage disabled the camp's loudspeaker system, and counselors, prohibited from keeping phones, did not receive automated flood warnings. Some flooded cabins sat inside federally mapped regulatory floodways, areas designed to carry floodwaters first and most intensely, yet state regulations do not require camps to factor FEMA flood zone maps into site planning. Despite the fury of the flood, counselors led campers uphill to higher ground. Aerial rescues by helicopter saved dozens, but those in lower cabins had little time to react. With a formally approved disaster plan in hand, investigators and families now ask, was the plan realistic for a sudden flash flood, and why weren't additional precautions, like real-time weather alerts and cabin relocations, implemented before July 4?